Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I feel like I'm like doing the not my hands challenge. This is me. Let me start over. Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today we're gonna do a get ready with me together. I'm gonna try a whole bunch of new drugstore products, and I think I've got everything for a full look. I've reorganized my makeup, video coming soon, and so with that in mind, I now can really get an idea of like what drugstore products I have that are new. So I was able to really pick through and find a ton of new stuff to try, brands that I like hardly ever try, brands that I try all the time. So it's a really good mix, but all of them are somewhat more affordable. So I'm always upfront with you guys when a video is sponsored, and this video is sponsored by Flower Beauty. You guys know that I've like literally lately been so incredibly obsessed with Flower Beauty. And so the fact, like when they emailed, I was like, and like reread the email, I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be real. I was so excited. I love this brand. Anyway, so there's some new products they've come out with. I'm going to try out on camera today. Okay, in all fairness, I've already tried it out. But I wanted to show you them, me putting them on my skin and kind of give you my thoughts on them. You guys know I'm always honest. I give you the good with the bad, whether I'm sponsored, whether something's sent to me, regardless. And that is what we're going to do here. So one of the new products from Flower Beauty is the Supernova Celestial Skin Elixir. And it's $15.99. It's at Ulta, and it's also at flowerbeauty.com. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little put off when I first saw this because I was like, it looks like there's glitter in there. And you guys know I'm not all about, I love being glowy, but I don't like glitter everywhere. I like glitter, but I'm kind of picky, I guess is what I'm saying. But I know a lot of you guys actually do like glitter. So I'm trying to be open-minded. So I was like, well, let me give it a try. So I tried it, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. So they say you can use this in a ton of different ways. You can use it as a primer on your skin after moisturizer. That's how I've used it so far. They also say you can mix it with foundation. So you guys already know this is my #1 drugstore glowy foundation. And if you haven't seen I did like a top 5 skin-like foundations video. I can link it below. Anyway, this was my #1 one on there. Drugstore, high-end, all of it. It was my favorite. So I figure, let's mix these together and see how that looks, because they recommend doing that too. So I'm just gonna shake it up. So it's got a bunch of skin-loving ingredients. So it's kind of like skincare and makeup all in one, but it helps to moisturize your skin. It really is pretty. Like it's got this beautiful like gold kind of sheen to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 pumps of this. I don't know if the ratio is gonna be right, but I'm so intrigued to give this a try. It's even glowier. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm actually going to use my sponge, and let's just go. So oh my gosh, this is even prettier. If you are a glowy skin lover like I am, so like I said, you can put this on under your foundation, and I would say that's gonna be ideal if you are using a super matte foundation. You're like, okay, it's a little too matte, or maybe it's a little bit too drying. This can kind of hydrate your skin before you put it on, but also give it that little bit of a glow factor so your skin looks like it's glowing from within. Isn't that what we all want? So 2 pumps and then 1 kind of squirt of the elixir did a really nice job. I love this kind of a look on my face. Like I feel like it looks so healthy, and I feel like a lot of us are kind of moving that direction, and so it's exciting to me. Great combo, but like I said, I like this just straight up under foundation. I put it under a Rimmel foundation yesterday that's a lot more high coverage, and it looked beautiful. And it's like a really high coverage, but you could still see this glow from underneath it. So I would say both ways you do it, it's awesome. I'm pretty open with you guys here on my channel about sponsorships and companies and stuff. They only asked me to talk about a couple of their products, but this is one they didn't mention. I just use it all the time, so I wanted to use it. And I literally was looking through my drawers and I'm like, well, maybe I'll try like a different concealer. And I'm like, this is my favorite concealer. Oh my gosh. It's just like it's so nice for like just every day. I'll use a sponge to put it in, to blend it in. I'll use my fingers. But I've been using it so much, I felt like I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't use it. It's just so like, it looks like skin. It doesn't look like a layer of concealer on top, and it melds so well with foundation, especially the one I have on now. I feel like everything's glowy and just like mixing together really nicely. Also, please enjoy my coffee mug. One of you lovely subscribers sent this to me, and it was the most exciting thing. It says, "It is what it is." That's my mantra. It is what it is. It's not a great mantra, but it's mine. We're gonna try a new brow product. This is from Covergirl. It is their ultra fine brow pencil. So these are super trendy right now. Brows just generally, I mean, that's nothing new. So I'm gonna try soft brown. It's a little bit deeper, and I'm just gonna kind of comb through my brows. I'm gonna kind of warm it up on my skin. Yeah, it looks like a nice cool tone brown. So if you're similar to me, it looks pretty cool. Super cool. This is like the hardest part of Get Ready With Me, like brows, liner, and mascara. Brows are okay, but liner and mascara are always so difficult because I like am a certain distance from my mirror, and I'm used to being like right up on my mirror. Wow, this is actually easier to use than I thought. I feel like some micro brow pencils can be really dry, or they're almost so creamy that they just slide right off of your brows, but this one's kind of right in between. I'm trying to think if I've heard anyone talking about these because they've been out now for a little while. Okay, A+ Covergirl. I'm really digging it, and I was kind of brushing through them to kind of lighten and mix the color in with my actual brow hair, you know, kind of even it out just right there. And I feel like it does a really nice job. Oh, okay. That annoyed myself. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to do that. So I feel like I need to kind of set my T-zone because I typically will put, especially on my nose, virtually every single day I put something. And really, I just wanted to try this powder. So I saw Tati did a video on it, and I was like, you guys know I love Tati. So she did these, and they were sent to me as well, and I just kind of put them in the drawer for now. I haven't watched her video yet, so I'm like, I wonder how she feels. Does she hate it? Does she love it? So I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see. So I've got Ivory, Medium Beige, and Natural. Maybe I should tell you what the product is. It's from J-Cat Beauty. It's their Aqua-Surance Compact Foundation. Let's just see how much of an insurance policy this is on my nose. Okay, cute packaging. That's probably close. Let me look the next shade up. Let me see. Just trying to look like I know what I'm doing. Gosh, that's kind of orange. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little orange. Like it's definitely oxidizing. Oh, okay, that's way too dark. That one is medium beige. So I'll put the shade range on the screen right now because I'm not sure off the top of my head how much of a shade range they have. But I think Ivory, it's definitely an interesting name for something that's certainly not like I think of people that are much more fair than I am. I mean, this is a little dark for me. So again, I'll put the shade range on the screen, but I think this might be the lightest. So I'm just gonna use kind of a fluffier brush. And oh, that's got, did you guys see that? Oh my gosh, okay. So I'm just gonna set my nose. I'm nervous that this is oxidizing. Well, it definitely mattifies. It also smooths. Maybe I'll do, yeah, my chin too. It's typically about as far as I go. So it definitely has some coverage to it, and it definitely smooths those areas out. Again, you're gonna have to find your shade, and I don't know that J-Cat is sold in stores, so it's like, you kind of have to like guess and just hope for the best, you know? But I do like how smoothing it is. I can see how it's already kind of showing a little texture that I have here. I mean, a lot of powders do. You know, it's not that deep. It's not that crazy for a powder to show texture. So I don't think this would ever be my absolute favorite, but I think it's not bad. And like if you were already placing an order on J-Cat's website or something, I would say it's not terrible. But again, I always do updates on these kinds of videos. So stay tuned. In about a month, I will let you know after I've used it more how I feel about all of these products. I love cream products on my face. Again, because I have normal to dry skin, I just tend to kind of want that kind of a creamy look where it's not capturing texture and making things look weirder or older than they are. So I'm already really drawn to these. So the blush balms are $9.99. They're available at Ulta and emflowerbeauty.com. And I used this shade yesterday. It's their blush balm in Pinched. Okay, let me just show you. I'm gonna apply it, of course, you can see it. I fell in love with it and it lasted so long. So I just squeezed a little bit onto my hand, And I just think for my skin tone, this is absolutely gorgeous. They have a lot. They have like a peachier shade called Nectar, and they have a light pink shade called Bubbly. And then they have some bolder shades. So there's Bitten, which is more of a berry shade. And then this kind of melon one called Melon. And then a more brown toned one, which is called Cinnamon. So they have a nice range of these. But what I loved about it is they're a liquid blush, but you have enough time to blend it. That's huge because I've tried cream and liquid blushes in the past where I'll get it on and literally within seconds it will set and I can't move it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I've got this weird splotch. And I think that turns a lot of people off of liquid blushes. But when I tried this, I was like, okay, so it's been sitting on my hand for what, 10, 15 seconds. So I'm just gonna grab my sponge, just get some of it on there. I like more of a sheer wash. Oh my gosh, it just looks so dewy. Like it looks like my skin, like it's just a little bit flush. Like I feel like if someone saw me in person, they wouldn't be sure, did she put blush on or is she just like naturally blushing? That's the kind of blush I like. And I feel like, again, if you have any texture, like for me, I've got fine lines and like crow's feet that are starting to encroach downward. And this, it doesn't accentuate that. So I'm gonna get a little bit more and do my other cheek. And I also feel like a lot of brands that make liquid blushes don't have a good enough shade range, and they don't have like lighter shades too, because a lot of times they're really, really vivid shades. And so I can't make them look natural on my skin no matter how much I sheer them out. So, oh my gosh. Dude, I mean, I just feel like there's so much life in my skin. Okay, I'll stop gushing. I really, really like these. I put this on, we went over to my parents' house for a cookout. So I put it on probably around noon. I mean, it was kind of a later start in the day. I do have a newborn after all. Anyway, I put it on around noon and we got home at midnight and it was still flawless. I literally went in the bathroom to take off my makeup and I was like, it still looked amazing. So I think the staying power is great, but if you really wanted to amp it up, you could put a powdered blush on top. So before I get too far, I wanted to try this Catrice highlighter stick. Again, more of a cream product. It's their Strobe to Glow highlighter stick. This is in Tomorrowland White Gold. Okay, well, that makes me think of Disney World, obviously. So this is interesting because it can get really chunky. Like if you just sit there, I mean, why would you continue swatching like that? But it can definitely get chunky. So I don't think I'm gonna directly apply this to my skin. As usual, I think I'm just gonna use a sponge. So I've got plenty on there. Do you see what I mean by it gets a little chunky? Like if you continue to go over the same spot, which again, you'd never do that on your face, but it does kind of ball up in a way. So I do think it might be best to just kind of get a little bit on your sponge. And I'm just gonna tap it there. I just realized, so I recently got a new camera and of course it's much more high definition, 4K kind of a thing. And I feel like I'm starting to be able to see really, like when I use a lot of powder products, how much it shows on my skin. You know, I'm gonna be 30 next year and I feel like the more cream I use, the less obvious it is. And that's why I've just been so drawn to these kinds of things. So, okay, that was like the easiest application ever. It's certainly dewy, but it doesn't look powdery. Catrice products, I need to do a Catrice like best and worst entire video because I have found some unbelievably amazing products from them. So there's another one that I'm starting to like. It says it's got a dewy finish. I agree. So let's do the eyes. I have these new Essence palettes to try. They sent these over recently. They have 3 new palettes. It's their Fairy Wings and Magical Things palette. And this one has these really fun, like kind of candy colored, well, okay, I guess it's more like fairy colored, really cute colors. Just a very spring-like palette. And then they also sent over their I'm With the Band eyeshadow palette, and Essence is incredibly reasonably priced. These are a lot, there's some purples in there, some pinks, a little yellow, and then just some deeper colors. And then the one I want to try, you're not going to be surprised, is the Essence Spice Up Your Life. That makes me think of the Spice Girls palette. I've already taken the plastic off of this one because I was like, ooh. So this is definitely more of like a fall toned kind of a palette. And as we're so close to fall, I was like, we're gonna need to try that one. So I haven't even swatched it. I haven't had great luck with Essence shadows, so I'm a little nervous. But the names, Pumpkin Spice, spiced apple cider, cinnamon rolls, maple, vanilla bean, coco loco, chai chai. Okay. Let's do the ones that I think might not swatch well. Oh, okay. Color me impressed. So this is just the top row right there. Still pretty good, but not quite as punchy. Let's try some of the colors I would like this bronze and then habanero honey down here. These are very Jessica shadows. A little bit of powder, that's all right. Just good to be aware of. I mean, this is like the ultimate fall leaves palette. Are you kidding me? So, ooh, let's try. There are a couple mattes I want to see. Ooh. Okay, doesn't swatch. Like the light one doesn't swatch as well, but I think that'll be great for just setting the whole eye. So let's dive in for real because this is actually way more impressive than I thought it would be. No offense, Essence. But I feel like I've tried some of their little plasticky palettes and they're just so like, the shadows are kind of more see-through, and if that's what you're into, go for it. But I'm not always into that. Okay, so I'm gonna put a primer on. I'm gonna use the NYX Glitter Primer just because, I don't know, I never really use it, and it's really, really good. And it's cheap, it's really, really sticky. I mean, that's the whole idea. I'm trying to be better about using the really good products in my collection more often, and I didn't have a new primer to use, so there you go. All right, so I'm gonna do, maybe I will do kind of a greenish look, like using Party Time or something like that. So I'm going to, but I think I wanna use that more like in the crease. These are the Flower Beauty glitter shadows. They have these new ones. They have a really pretty green one that I'm like, I kind of want to tie that into this. Wouldn't that be cool? And I never use green shadows, so it's like out of my comfort zone slightly. Okay, I sometimes use green shadows. So I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and dive in with this green on the lid. Why not? So this is Party Time, but time is spelled T-H-Y-M-E, like the herb. But I didn't want to set this primer because I wanted it to stick to it, you know? But I'll set it up above. So what I'll typically do if I'm doing a bolder look, a lot of times I'll just put the main shade I want just all over the lid. And then I'll kind of blend it into the crease, maybe with a more neutral color. So that way it's not just like all green. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea for myself. But this is okay. It's certainly sticking to this primer. And again, these are the best Essence shadows I've ever tried. And like, I think this is a cool color green. It's like a yellowish green. So I'm gonna grab Vanilla Bean to just help blend this. So I'm gonna go into Pumpkin Spice. It's a little bit shimmery, but I'm just gonna try to put it in my crease. We're just gonna see. I'm gonna break all the rules. Because it's definitely a nice shade for crease work. But not a lot of times people don't like shimmer in the crease. I don't really mind it. It's not like it's a glitter in the crease, which that's also a thing too. So I like literally just sat back. I was checking my Instagram and I literally couldn't stop staring at this palette. It's so fall-y. I'm like pumped about it. What a find. So I think it actually blended really well. So I want to try that glitter shade, but before I do want to get Vanilla Bean and put it right under my brow bone. It's actually pretty good. A lot of times this kind of a shade, like a matte, light beige, is not super pigmented. And so I always reach for my Wet n Wild Single Shadow and Brulee because I'm like, well, I need something. And that one is so amazingly pigmented, but that was actually pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna put the glitter on and then we might need to dive back into this to kind of make things work together. So I'm gonna use the glitter shadow in Camo. And I just wanna dot a little bit on. So I'm even like dotting some off and I'm literally just gonna tap it on top. Those are incredibly glittery. So you always wanna make sure you use a really sticky primer like I used the NYX Glitter Primer because with any glitter shadow, you always wanna be wary of there could be fallout. And really, if I were smarter, I would have done my eye look first. But the way I applied it, I didn't have any glitter fallout at all. So I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna get a deeper color, maybe like a deep brown, and kind of work the outer corner just a little bit. So I'm gonna go into Chai Chai. Again, it's not a matte, but I'm kind of digging all the shimmer. pretty well too. Boy, this look is getting darker by the minute. Okay, so again, I'm gonna get that spiced apple cider. Is that what I use? No, pumpkin spice. And just kind of blend it together just a little bit more. Well, we might as well keep this train rolling. Let's go ahead and take Party Time and go on the lower lash line as well. And then I'm gonna get cinnamon rolls, this really deep dark brown, and just kind of deepen that just a little bit right along the lash line. Boy, we really went for it, didn't we? I know some of you guys are proud of me. You're like, wow, Jessica, you really stepped out of your comfort zone today. There's like no fallout. I'm incredulous. Oh, okay. A lot of you guys have asked about this brand. This brand is Colormax. I don't think they're available in drugstores. It says they're made in Germany / Houston, Texas. Oh no, they're made in Germany, but it's from Houston. So the packaging is actually really nice. It feels like the Urban Decay, like exactly like the Urban Decay eyeliner packaging. But it's their ultimate eyeliner pencil. This is in deep black. It says it's vitamin enriched. So I always grab a powder puff so I don't there's no powder on it, but so I don't put my skin on my skin, put my finger on my skin and mess it up, because I have to pull on my eyes to put on eyeliner. Leave me alone, I know. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's pretty creamy. I think it just needed to get started. So I'm just kind of darkening really the lash line. I don't think it's the blackest eyeliner pencil I've ever used. It's it appears black, but when I'm putting it on, obviously I'm putting this on a dark shadow and a glitter shadow, so it's kind of a lot for an eyeliner to battle against. But I do feel like the Milani gel one is creamier and blacker. I fly through it when I buy it. I'll link it below because I don't know the exact name of it off the top of my head. Better than high end, you don't have to spend that much money on eyeliner to get amazing eyeliner. So I also have a liquid liner I wanted to try, and I typically will layer more than one layer of eyeliner. Anyway, this is their Covergirl one. I don't think I've heard great things, so I'm a wee bit nervous. It's one of these kind. I'm not great with these. Wish me luck, ladies and gents. It's definitely black. Actually, that was pretty easy to use. That was not bad at all. Super black. It's doing a great job over this glitter shadow. I feel like there's a lot of liquid liners out there that don't cover glitter very well, and this did a pretty good job. I'm just gonna thicken the line up a bit because that's the way I roll. I'm actually impressed. I feel like I don't typically like liners like this, but I feel like the way everything was shaped made it really easy to actually get in, and I even did a little wing on both sides, and it was actually pretty easy. So you do have to dip back into it a lot, which is normal for this kind of a liner. I'm used to a pen style liner, so you don't ever have to dip. You just kind of shake it up. But this might be the first liner like this I actually liked, and I feel like a lot of people didn't like this liner. And it didn't spread like a lot of liquid liners do, where it just kind of starts to spread as it dries. All right, we're gonna try, I'm trying too much CoverGirl, but they came out with a lot of new stuff and I just happen to have it. We're gonna try the Lash Blast Primer and Mascara. It's their Flourish Mascara and their Lash Blast Amplify Primer. So I don't use a lot of lash primers, but I figure, when in Rome, I've got them both. Let's rock and roll. So it's one of those white primers. There are no instructions, I don't know if I need to let it dry. So it's definitely, these both have the same kind of a wand where it's a very rubbery kind. Those are kind of hit or miss for me. A lot of times they're nice because they'll separate your lashes really well, but they don't always volumize the way I want, so we're just gonna see. And you always wonder, okay, did I just get the lash primer all over this and now I'm dipping it into this tube? I guess the reality is you don't keep mascaras for that long. It's probably not that big of a problem, but it is something I think about. I'm like, ugh, it's not that deep, Jess. So it is lengthening them. It's not crazy length, but it's definitely doing something. I feel like there are many mascaras I try that I'm like, did that do anything at all? Or am I crazy? All right, I'm gonna find out what all the fuss is about. L'Oreal sent over a long time ago their chocolate Pro Matte liquid lipsticks. And let me be very clear, I'm not really into that matte lip life right now. but I want to try them. We'll see. I'm filming some more today. We'll see if I keep it on. I guess that'll be the true test, huh? Let me swatch a few before I decide. So this one is in Box O Chocolate, number 852. And it's definitely more of a brown nude. Whoa, these smell like chocolate. This is Candyman, 842. This is more of a pink tone compared to that. Let's see, this one is in Dose of Cocoa. More peachy toned. I mean, they're all kind of chocolatey, you know, but, and then they have some deeper ones I'll show you. This is 70% Yum. Beautiful deep shade. This one's 854 Bittersweet. This one looks a little more kind of grayish. And then this one's in 844 Sweet Tooth. And again, more of a peachy tone. So there's, I mean, that's actually a really pretty spread. I'm gonna go for that. I was torn between these two. Am I pointing at the right one? Well, actually, I think I'm gonna go for Dose of Cocoa, just given my eye look. We'll see if I keep this on. I don't think so. I'll go ahead and finish it and then. Let me say this. This is a comfortable formula. I've used their Pro Matte formula before, just not this line of the chocolate. Obviously, this is not the shade for me. But they are really comfortable. So if you find a shade in this line that you really like, they are nice. So if you are into that, maybe more of a whipped formula for a liquid lip, which I totally would prefer a whipped formula, then I would say go for it. So I have been curious about e.l.f. released these prismatic lip glosses. I want to try the shade Rose Quartz. I'm going to end up trying 5 shades on and wearing none of them. But they've just been sitting in this drawer and I've been wanting to try them. So it's definitely like glittery, but I kind of like that. I feel like it's kind of fun. Ooh, that is prismatic. I think these are technically supposed to be lip toppers, but I kind of just want to see what it looks like on. Not bad. They feel like a very thin, kind of balmy gloss. Like they're not sticky at all. They actually feel very different than I anticipated. There's not a noticeable smell. There's definitely glitter in them. So you wonder, like, as you've had it on for a while, how will it dry down, you know? But I think I'm gonna put on a lip gloss. I just, again, wanted to show you these. Why not? We're just playing. All right, we're just gonna go with a good old gloss. So I have these Katy Perry Katy Cat glosses. It's with CoverGirl, and they have the cutest little cats on top. So I was like, so I have 2 shades. Let me swatch them both for you. Tabby Tease, which is a peachy shade. These feel sticky as I swatch them. That's a pretty color though. I don't know that it'd be quite right for this look. And then there's this more nude shade called Cantaloupe. Oh, sorry, Catalope. And it's definitely more of a neutral. This is a very standard feeling gloss so far. That one has some glitter in it. Let me just try it. Yeah, where it takes a lot to kind of build it up. I feel like the glitter in this one is making my lips look like older. It's actually kind of fun. It doesn't look as bright on camera as it does in person, but it's like a nice bright. Like, I will say the application of this is not the best experience. You have to keep dipping into it. The applicator is kind of like hard. It's not a, it doesn't form to your lip in any way, you know? I just feel like this is a very standard gloss, but if you loved the packaging or you found a color, you're like, oh, I'd love that. Just know that they're a little bit more sheer, which I like. And yeah, they're okay. I like it. I like this color. I think the other one I'll probably pass on. But I think this color, again, this was the one in Catalope, right? No, Tabby Tease. I do like this one. I think it's fun and somewhat comfortable. So I hope that you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. I love trying new things. Like I always do, I always link everything I mentioned below with prices if you're curious about any of it. I'll link my most recent 2 Get Ready With Me's that I've done down below if you like this style of video, if you're just curious about new products and how they work and what they look like when they actually go on. And otherwise, stay tuned for my update on this video, probably be in a month or so, where I'll try these products for the next month, and then I'll be able to let you know what worked and what didn't. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.